Hi everyone, this is a quick tutorial on how to play the activity Order the Fractions. This comes from the 6th grade resources in the Home Education Bridge, and the instructions for this game are here, and I'm just going to do a little video showing you how to play this activity. You'll need the digit cards, which are included inside of your resources, and I've already cut them out ahead of time and placed them facing down in a stack. You're going to want to remove the negative cards from the deck of digit cards in order to play this at first. And here's how it works. You're going to turn over a card to create a numerator and a card to create a denominator. So I have created the fraction 5/8, and you can see that I've listed it here. I need another fraction, so I'm going to keep going. Here's a 2 and a 3, so there's 2/3, my second fraction. As you can see, I've worked these out ahead of time. And then I'll need one more fraction, and so there we go. I've got 2/8 as my third fraction, and here it is here. So I've got my 3 fractions for this first round. I can put the rest of the deck aside for now, and I can start to think about how I might want to order these fractions. Sometimes you may be able to just look at the fraction and think about, well, is it less than half or is it more than half? You might be able to order them that way. For 6th grade, you can tell that 2/8 is less than half, and 5/8 and 2/3 are both more than half. So 2/8 is definitely going to come first in a list that goes from least to greatest. But these two are very close together, so it may be hard to tell. So we need some other strategies. One of those strategies is to convert it to a decimal using division. So you can see here I've done that for all 3 fractions. Converting 5/8 is dividing 5 by 8, and that's 0.625. And converting 2/3, you can see that's going to be a repeating decimal that's just going to keep continuing, so 0.6 repeating. And then 2/8 is just 2 divided by 8, and that is 0.25. And you might notice that because you may recognize that 2/8 is equivalent to 1/4, and you may have 1/4 memorized as 0.25. So there's my 3 division problems, which gives me 3 decimals. So I've listed them again so I know which fractions are equivalent to which decimals. And then I can easily use place value to order these. I can see that the 2 in the 10th place is smaller than the 6 and this 6 in the 10th place, so I know this is first, least to greatest. Then I can compare the hundredths place next, and I know that a 2 is smaller in the hundredths place than the 6 is, so I can see that 5/8 as a fraction will come second, and that 2/3 as a fraction will come third. So there's my way to compare those by place value. And then again, you see I've got my decimals listed in order from least to greatest, and then of course my fractions in order listed from least to greatest. Another way that you might want to think about this is a number line, and I've just made a quick number line down here. And since all of my fractions are proper fractions, they're all between 0 and 1. So here's 0, here's 1. They're all going to be between here somewhere. And what I've done is I've gone in and found the easy benchmark fractions. If I know where 0 and 1 are, then I know where 1/2 or 0.5 is. And if I know where that is, then I can easily find 1/4, which is 0.25, and 3/4, which is 0.75. That allows me to easily locate the 2/8, which is equal to 1/4. So that's right there at 1/4. And then 5/8 is actually right between 1/2 and 3/4 because it's 0.625. And so I know that 2/3 is going to come right after 0.0625 or right after 5/8, somewhere in that area there. So a number line can be helpful for helping you locate fractions and decimals. So play this game several times, get yourself some different fractions to use to order. Sometimes you may end up with an improper fraction. You may turn over cards that have a numerator that is greater than the denominator. We can handle that as well. It's still just division. So in order to figure out the decimal for that, we're just going to divide 8 by 2 now, instead of how we were doing it before and dividing 2 by 8. So you can do this with improper fractions as well. And also, when you get good at this, after you've practiced it several times, you'll want to bring the negatives back into the deck and actually do this with some negative fractions. That'll make it a little bit more of a challenge, but it'll make more sense after you've practiced it several times with positive fractions. Hope this helps you get some great practice this week, and thanks for watching.